talk a little bit about how to create buzz for your product or your service and some sort of key tips that you can share with the group.
Okay. What's really interesting is if I had answered that question 6 or 7 years ago, I would have answered it completely differently than how I'm going to answer it today, because, you know, way back when, 6 or 7 years ago, there were really only 2 ways to generate buzz and stimulate interest in you and your brand, your product, or your service. One was spending a lot of money on advertising, and the other was to beg, borrow, and steal and plead with the media and to try to get covered. A lot of power was in the hands of the few, and you know, there really has been a major shift over the last few years from the hands of, and you know, we see it in financial services institutions, from large corporations and the traditional media to the individual, to the consumer, and to small communities. So what's really great for everyone in this room is that the playing field, and I think Ali said this actually this morning in her keynote, that the playing field is level. You really have an opportunity today to stimulate buzz and to create interest for your product or for your service. And so, you know, how do you do that? Well, every consumer today is a publisher. You can, and Joy's going to speak, I think, extensively about this, you can have a blog, you can have a newsletter, you can submit articles to article submission sites, you can write a column. There are so many different things that you can do to get content out there about you that positions you as an authority and creates buzz about you, your product, or your service. So the power has really shifted from the traditional media to you yourself. You can build a community now with what Christine was talking about in terms of building your social network and your social media platforms. We really have transitioned from word of mouth to word of mouse. The internet is providing us so many opportunities for information that we put out there to go viral by those that we are connected to. And it really is, again, as Christine mentioned, about the emotional connection. So it's not so much about selling. You know, I can't tell you how many clients come to me, and I'm sure everyone that's sitting up here, that say, well, I just don't like to sell, right? How many people in this room have felt that in some way or another, that, you know, it just feels a little bit uncomfortable. So today, with so many people moving online, it's not so much about selling, it's about educating, and it's about entertaining. People want to feel something, they want authenticity, and they want transparency, so it's okay to put yourself out there. So I think really the best way today to stimulate buzz about you is to get online and to connect and build your networks, both online and off. And no, we're not going to ignore the media. I still think it's important to reach out to press and let them know who you are, what you're doing, why you're doing what you're doing, the value that you offer, and who you're doing it for. That's still important, but you have an opportunity to take a little bit of control of the reins and do it yourself.